I mean what I say.
What did you say?
Say what you mean. Well, I mean that...
Please. Please, Rodney.
Say, would you like a biscuit? Or would you like to see one of the carvings?
Give me that!
Look, stop avoiding the issue. I feel I've seen you somewhere before. Does anybody really know anybody? Yes, the carvings, you're saying.
Yes, the carvings!
Stop that, Rodney! Stop that at once! No, Rodney gets taken sometimes. Sometimes he feels things. He just feels things.
Ow!
Nobody really knows nobody. Have you read the book? Look, book's schmuck. I don't care about that.
Go to your room, Rodney, and take this with you.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned the truth. The truth? Do you have carvings? Who is Rodney being taken by?
Oh, no, I've just sent him to his room.
But the carvings.
The carvings? Oh, I'd rather not talk about that. You see, my wife.
Oh yes.
There's a toe. Who the devil is that? Get that, would you, Rodney?
Is that your wife? Mom! Hello, Rodney. How are you? Great, Mom. That is great. Guess what? There's an individual.
What? Get in the car, Rodney! Rex! You're not Rex! Rex! How dare you let Rodney, these fanatics in when Rodney's here? I'll leave my son with you for one day, and you'll find him entertaining zealots. God forbid! Have you lost your senses?
Madam, we are not zealots.
Shut up! Valerie, please, take a hold of yourself. This is not the bedroom, nor is it a madhouse. These gentlemen are, after all, guests in my room.
People, please. Who are you being troubled
No,
by?
Rex, I won't take this. I won't. What? These lunatics, you let them in, these fiends, these hideous worship-mongers. One day, you give them your house. Next day, you may as well give them your son. What with the weather getting worse and the budget?
But your son cannot be denied.
What's wrong with the budget? It's something I will not tolerate, Valerie, and that's you spouting that red poison in my household.
Tolerance, please.
Look at the length of Rodney's hair, Rex.
Excuse me!
Where's the other one? Excuse me.
You mean there's more than one?
Just went to the toilet.
That's not him, Dad. The other one's in my room.
There is no other one.
I'm sorry.
Oh, now, Rex, it started.
I've got the carving.
Oh, no, you don't.
Silly, great child.
I got
Hey, this is all.
Rex, get up. Kill him, Rex. Get up, Rex. I can't.
We're all alone. Together. Hooray.
No, you won't. I won't let you. That's Rodney's future.
No, you can't. Oh, stop her. No, get her, Kip. Oh,
What's the matter, honey? Have you got a pain somewhere? Sly, I've got something to tell you. Something so special, you're hardly going to believe it. Sly? Sly, do you love me? You said you did yesterday, remember? You said it underneath the spreading oak tree. You said, I love you, Jersey. Your eyes shine like the sun, and your mouth tastes of seawater. I didn't get exactly what you meant, but at first you kissed me, and you clung to me like a hungry man and said, I love you!
I love you.
Yeah, well, I don't. I don't.
Stop playing with me, honey. This is important. Honey? Honey? Because right at this moment, Sly, something's happening. I'm going to get big, Sly. You'll say I'm getting fat, and so I am with what's growing inside of me. We're gonna have a baby slice. Just the two of us.
Can't be mine, Jersey. You know I never screw no run down the hall like you.
You never said that before. You never called me a whore before.
Yeah, I did. I did one, I did two, I did three, I did underneath a fig tree. I called you a whore. I don't care, I don't give a fuck. And I didn't give a fuck. This monstrosity in your belly can't be mine.
Oh! You knock me down and then you start kicking me! I don't have to be so nice! I don't even have to try anymore! I tried to leave you yesterday, but you're crying and saying I love you and stay. You opposite man, there's more hate to you than will ever be apparent to the eye. Ha! Well, die! Run contrary-wise! See if I can! I hate you!
Come back, Josie, I love you! Come back! If you stay with me, you won't want for nothing! Joseph! On Monday, I'll bring you the moon! Tuesday, I'll get the stars to whimper at the door, because your beauty has outshone them! Wednesday, the fish! Thursday, the animals! Friday, the very note of the air will change, deeper with an exaltation of love! The bird song on Saturday will outdrown nothing like my song of love for you, Jersey. Sunday you'll find me arrayed a bridegroom. Oh, honey, what are we gonna call the baby? Lights, please.
grew large and full. Like a full moon. But Annie had no home. The flesh. And the flesh. The flesh. Oozing. Gave birth to a king. Once upon a time, can a fool fly? Scream and scream! Can a fool fly? Can a fool fly? Yo, it's what's that? Why does the world bite me? Why does the world bite me? I hated all I saw. I hated all I saw. I kept what I wanted. Annie, I love Annie. I love her heartbeat. The night scares me. The night scares me. The night scares me. So I took it! I took it! I took it! Once upon a time, I was lonely.
Castro, I have to go to work now. Goodbye. I'll be back soon.
It's a fine thing to be young. To be young and happy and tasting the beauty of life on the tip of your tongue. You know that feeling when you get up in the morning and you go to the window and you look outside at the world and you just know you could do anything, have anything at all. Or when you walk down the street and you see the young men lined up outside the pub and you see them and they're watching you, watching the sway of your hips, the toss of your hair in the sun. When I see those men, when I feel them looking at me, my heart wants to burst with joy and desire. Today I married one of those men. Now Pedro is my husband. We were standing there at the altar, holding hands, looking into each other's eyes, and he was saying the most beautiful words in the world. And he was saying them to me. I just cried. I love that man. I love his eyes. I love his smile. I love the way he touches me like that. I love the way he kisses me.
Lestro, when I see you, when I see the sun come up over the sea, it reminds me of your smile. No, not smile. It reminds me of your these words
He's so sweet, he can't even think of the words. Sweetie, let's get in the bed.
Oh, yes.
Oh, bed's good.
Quick, here. Your hair, it looks like silver. Yes, silver in the moonlight.
Silver. Silver? Oh, couldn't you think of anything better than silver? No, Pedro, not silver. Oh. Nothing. Moonlight, wicked tricks, nothing but my own hair the colour of butter. It's not silver. How could I be so stupid? I am going to get old and ugly. This hair, this unfaithful hair waits to shed its glory and cover itself in grey. My body will take on the proportions of a shapeless sack underneath me, screaming to get out. Oh, how can this happen? How can this be fair? I've spent my whole life being young, beautiful. How can I bear to be old and ugly? How will he bear to listen when my body howls with pain and boredom and weariness? Oh, Pedro, wake up and stop me aching. Pedro, kiss me, couldn't you be far right? There'll come a time, Pedro, when your lips will spit me out before they'll kiss me, when your hand would rather bury itself in shit than touch me. And all the while, unless the years have wiped my memory, I'll be seeing what you cannot, touching what you cannot. Pedro, if you leave me, I'll kill myself. I have to, Pedro. I couldn't stand to be alone. I'll have to live with you. If I killed myself, you wouldn't have any problems. I could shoot myself before an empty grave just before you left. Then you wouldn't have any trouble at all. I'd dig the hole myself, and you just have to push the dirt onto my awful face and whistle off. I wouldn't suffer. I'd be happier that way. No, I wouldn't. It'd be awful to be dead. Even if it meant to be ugly, so ugly that you frighten children. No, I'd rather not be dead. But you could still go, Pedro. I'd understand. I'd just have to get used to being old and lonely. Surely that's not too difficult. Other women do it. They don't even have to try. One day they have their husbands, the next they take loneliness as another. I'll have to start right away, so that every day the future isn't spoiled but how lonely I'll be when you're gone. I know, Pedro. I could go off sometimes and practice being alone in the woods. And if I did that for 5 years or so, then I'd be ready when you decided to leave, and I could see you off with a smile on my face and even pack your lunch. That's what I'll do.
Oh no, Castro, I have to go.
Oh, no. You should just stay a little bit longer.
Oh, I've got deadlines to meet.
No, you don't. Oh, yes, you do.
Oh, Castro. I'll see you so soon. You won't even notice I've gone. Oh, Castro, I love you.
I love you too.
Gather in, there's a bit of wine, there's free wine there, a few nuts. You're all very welcome, thank you for coming, but the worst of all possible things has happened, and we're going to have to cancel the show. But you can get your money back downstairs. This is a bit of a prophecy, really, for the nights to come. I've got another idea though. We can go into a show that has come up through talks downstairs and what with the group being the way it is, sort of off the top of our heads kind of stuff. I'll tell you a bit about the show you would have seen, all of them crying. I see it like an albatross in the Ancient Mariner. You know when it gets shot down?
Is it a lot?
No, it is like the albatross, because it's the relationships in the group were such that it snapped. You know, it was definitely sort of, and it's hanging around my neck. I'm the mariner that wears that albatross, but its dripping blood marks time and space from which with will begin winter of the rutting moon. So if you'll join with me, come closer. I reckon we'll do this together instead of the team. Like, you'll see nothing of the sort of thing you haven't seen before or not seen before, or heard before or not heard before. This play is going to be made with all the people in this room, and it's going to be a good play. And this semicircle is a good start, sort of indicative of the rutting moon. Now, I've been working on a thesis for my architecture degree, and it's an investigation into crowd emotions in various environments and against various walls and precarious things. Now, if we could do this together, it's going to be great. We can have, the first thing we might do is if you could sort of believe in me as a witch doctor kind of thing, for a kind of more tribalistic attitude as a group together. Splinters? Question mark? No, us. The contents of this room. We'll make up this play. It might take a short time, might take a long time, we might have already finished, but we'll make that decision, because we're going through together tonight. So just as a start, to ease us into it, why don't you call me your witch doctor? You know, lay on me all your kind of individualism. Everything you've taken in your life to make up your personality, your little quirks, what have you. Give them to me, lay them on me, and you'll see at some stage during the night being you, and you can say, there he's been me. There he's been you, he's been you. And I'll do that, so that'll allow you to become more licentious, if you like. Okay, good, now we've got that over and done. Have you noticed that you're no longer being treated like spectators? Yes. I'm not sort of speaking in asides to you from out of the play. There is no play. We've established that. The play was cancelled. And I'm not going to step out of the play to address you. I am addressing you. And I'm going to keep on addressing you. And if you don't want to be addressed, you're going to be bored. I'm speaking directly to you. You're not being treated like hecklers, you're not being disregarded. You don't have to form an opinion from a bird or a frog or a fish's perspective of anything that happens tonight. Because we're going on together. You don't have to be a referee or a cynic. You don't have to make up your mind about anything, because it's our responsibility together. I think I've repeated that now. And you are someone, you are something. Together we are something. A society represents an order. We represent an order, really. A theatre society, maybe. You look charming. You look dazzling. You look breathtaking. Enchanting. Superb. Together we look unique. We are unique. Because we're not attending a theatre piece. We're not attending. We are the focal point. Ourselves. We're in a bit of a crossfire here. And you might catch fire tonight. But you have been discovered. You are the discovery of the evening. And your eyes, they're like igniting this half. We're being ignited. The flames from your eyes are leaping across at us. And you, it's fantastic, the kind of airwaves. I can feel the belief. It's strong, it's strong. As a start to the play, it'd be good if everyone had enough cash to be able to buy whatever they needed through the play. Just pass it around. Hang on to this, because there's how many times that we'll need it. So everyone got some good. I'm a little bit worried. A little bit worried about the precariousness of the fish bowls and everything. A little bit worried about whether or not everyone's enjoying themselves. I'm really a bit worried about whether I'm cut out for this kind of transicism. This kind of mass exorcism, if you like. It's all that energy on me. I'm worried if I can handle it, if I'm cut out for that kind of. I feel a little bit alone. I feel like I don't have any friends.
You are a witch doctor.
Yes, thank you. But it's alright. And it's good. And so everyone's welcome. We're all welcome. I've established that. To me, you're like a big bunch of flowers. Marigolds, if you like. How are we doing? Now, what do we do? I've got a little piece on. Sometimes I wish I could die. Go ahead and die then! Why don't we take it as if I already had? Take it as if this introduction to the cancelled play has been given by a corpse. And you, the marigolds, on the grave. Perhaps I'm being buried at sea later on tonight. And then the marigolds bobbing on the waves. I don't know. Strange, isn't it? Strange.
Are you a ghost? Are you a ghost?
I am a ghost. Because I've died early. But that's perhaps the nature of witch doctoring. Was that the brunt of the abstract truth? I don't know. Shh!
It's very hard to say, you know. At the beginning of everything, we were called a liar somewhere. How can we establish whether you're doing that or whether you're telling the truth?
Trust. Faith.
Suspend criticism. Okay.
No, but we don't have to be critical. Because it's you you're being critical of. I am you now. Remember?
Oh yeah, okay, I forgot it. Yeah. Then I didn't ask the
You
question.
don't have to suspend this belief. We believe. We all believe. Don't we?
It's not a play.
It's not a play. Shall I start at the beginning? Now here. Thank you for coming. You're most welcome. I'm sorry the play is cancelled. The worst of all possible ramifications and possibilities. Okay. No play. You'll see no play, you'll see nothing. There is no play, you'll hear no play. It's cancelled. What shall we do? Okay. Wait. I have here the holy water. Okay, wait. Okay, this is a real time. We're only working in real time. We're only a now, and a now, and a now. Each moment being a moment that expires on the word. And between the words, time is flying. I'm not alleging that any time could be repeatable. I agree that this time, I'm positive that this is a precious time of yours and mine. Time here is real time. Space-time here is space-time just like anywhere else. This is happening now, and now, and now. The time is expiring, you can check it on your watches. Time is not a noose. We make what we want, what we will with this time. I don't need a puppet to embody a dead time. I'm not going to say a puppet show. This is not a puppet show. I'm not a puppet. It's no show. We've established that. But come, we've got our money. Come into the next room. I've prepared a blessing for moving on through the play from the overhead in the next room. Come.
Brian, can you take it?
Assumptions have been brought into question why Splinters don't do straight theatre. Unlike the structure of the stereotypical theatre group, Splinters is a herd of catalysts, whose poetry seeks to extend and transcend the realms of conventional theatre and performance art. Each current member represents a developed creative aesthetic sense. Considering these elements, a nursery rhyme can inevitably turn into a masterpiece. Space, not just a stage. Therefore, any space may become a stage. Splinters play in unusual places and don't allow themselves to be limited by convention. That makes their work special and personal. Splinters perform with simple means, close to the audience. That makes their work accessible. Ultimately, the journey of the audience is the journey of the theatre as the central protagonist. In a Splinters show, you could expect to witness a metamorphosis from alterations in time sense, alterations in thinking, change in emotional expression, and hyper-suggestibility to envelop the spectator into a fresh experience, far apart from all conventional events. Art belongs in society, unprotected, vulnerable and challenging. It is the design of everything which does not have a chance in everyday life. Artists are professionals with a clear task to ensure public disorder, public performance, humour and dreams.
Who killed the sparrow? Now lurked in the shadows, waiting their time. There's nothing quite as dark as the bush.
Democracy! I work for a bureaucracy!
20 years has been a long, long time. Do come and sit down and tell me your story. Tell me your life story. Tell me of your adventures. Tell me you.
There was a hunger, a monstrous hunger.
How's it doing?
Hi.
Mind if I sit with you?
No, please.
I heard about your brother. Is there anything I can do?
Just keep me company, that's all.
That you got. You want another?
Yeah, I could use another one.
2 more over here, please. So, you feel like talking?
Sure you want me to get started?
Listen, I'm no doctor, but I know how to listen.
I don't think I'm handling this very well. You see, my family are relying on me for strength and support, and I just need something, because I don't think I'm handling this very well. You see, my mama always used to do that, but I'm just not her, and I need something.
What about Mike?
Oh, I can't let go in front of him. I've got to be strong in front of him, because he's always looking at me and judging me, and I want to, and I miss him so much, but I just can't.
You just gotta take it easy.
Yeah. But I hate seeing my brother in that hospital bed, and I can't help him, and I can't help anyone, and I'm afraid I'm just gonna lose it all.
Oh, go on. Let it all out. You don't have to stop for me.
I'm okay. Have you got that other beer?
Look, forget the beer. You and I as friends, we're supposed to take care of each other. So let's just do that, huh?
better now, thanks to you.
I didn't do much.
You paid for the beers.
You just needed to unwind a little. And unwind over a couple of beers. Best medicine in the world. Take 2 and call me in the morning.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Doc.
I want to talk with you.
Sure. Give us a second, would ya? So,
You're not helping her, you know.
we had a couple of beers. That's all.
The last thing she needs is someone pushing her to drink, Jerry.
No, the last thing she needs is a lecture from you about a problem only you think she has.
Ah, now you look here, Jerry.
No, you look here, Doc. The little lady's under a lot of pressure right now.
Ah, thank you very much. You think I don't know that?
And so what have you done for her, Doctor?
Well, at least I'm not pushing her to drink so she can't... Getting her smashed so she can't face what's going on right in front of her face with her family.
A couple of beers doesn't smash anyone. Doesn't hurt me, doesn't hurt her.
It might not hurt you, Jerry. Maybe you can handle it, but April can't.
Oh, yes, she can.
And is that your expert medical opinion or your fireman's opinion?
Listen, Doc, the only opinion around here that counts is that little miss in there, whether she's got a problem or not. And I'm just sorry if you don't approve of us spending time together when she needs a friend.
What did you say?
I'm just sorry if you don't approve of us spending time together when she needs a friend.
Stay out of April's life, Jerry.
Shut up, all right? Look, Mike, if you've got a problem about who I spend my time with, what I drink and when I drink, you say it to my face, all right?
I'll see you in the car.
Well?
I just care about you, damn it.
Well, if you want to make things easier for me, you want to take the pressure off.
I'm just trying to help you in every way possible.
And did I ever ask for your help?
No, but sometimes when you need help the most, you ask for it the least.
Oh, that's really beautiful. I've always wanted to have a nice conversation with a saint.
Look, April. I was the one that stood outside the AA meeting for you, and I didn't force you to go. You asked me, remember?
I had a perfectly good explanation for where I was that night.
You don't understand. It doesn't matter why you didn't go to the meeting. I'm not your spy. I'm not your keeper. I just don't want to lose you.
Well then shut up and stop making me feel so lousy about myself.
That's you talking, April. If you're feeling bad, that's you talking. Well, sooner or later you're going to have to make a choice. Is it me or is it drink? Is it or isn't it? And when you make that decision, I hope you fill me in, because I really care about the answer. Probably more than I've ever cared about anything in my whole life. So that's it in a nutshell here. No lectures, just a little desperation. I love you. You know where you can find me.
Emilio, I don't know what to do.
You know where you can find me.
its necessity, and its essential mercy. And I ask you to address the trial in that conviction. Anger is a bad counselor. Cast out anger. But pity is guilty.
I'm buried. I'm buried under his dream. I'm buried under his dream.
Violating wishes. Violating wishes. I kept under the map where I wanted to lay your body. Where I wanted to lay your body. You were the first time you rode your bicycle to me. You were much more, much more than a surrounding I could point at carefully, naming origin. I built mazes so that mornings could pass through deafness, would be a concept at a farm. I became aware of carnality. I wanted to take you, seduce you. I wanted to sail. I wanted to sail that calm ship. I wanted to enclose the cathedral in the fire. I wanted to collect the embers and place them all over lines of your body. I wanted to develop a ceremony that could claim you did not want refuge. I watched myself withering. I picked up the cup, shattered on the floor.
So fuck me! Come on, beat me!
I will go find you, draining solitude.
Come on, undress me!
I will go find you!
Give me credit! Give me credit for this immense circle of your fire! I'll pretend. I'll pretend I want you.
I'll brand
I'll pretend
I'll brand you. I'll begin to despise.
I'll enter into you with the same slow, nugget of fear.
I'm tired. Enough of language.
There is no hope. Who dares with me anyway? I've forgotten what it's like to be ashamed.
Apparition.
I'm surrounded. There's stupidity. Call it flight.
There is no bliss in salvation.
Knowledge.
Do not go.
Knowledge is the backbone
Do not go on a long trip without calling it a pilgrimage.
Let me talk. Let me talk for a moment. Lose myself in circles. Pull out my hair.
Allow us to refuse entry to a con man populated by melancholy, artifacts, ideas, become nostalgia in another country, miles away, deep in another place. Yes, the boundary! The boundary! The boundary! The boundary! The boundary!
Just been asked about the essential narrative of the show. It's a very difficult question because there are several metaphors in which the show operates on. They have an interconnection. The first part of the show is in fact taking the life of a young woman who, to all intents and purposes, is an ordinary person. But we've looked at the notion of the avatar or the embodiment of God on earth as being a woman, but B, someone who involves themselves in supposedly antisocial acts. Someone involved in antisocial acts. So even though God on earth has traditionally been a man, traditionally been somebody who has probably posthumous...
Fiddly business.
That's right.
But if I got more shots in it...
That even though this is a woman and this is a person that has done these things, that any person, any particular human being, can be seen in the light of the 10 stock features of the Magi, i.e. when she arrives, her birth is under peculiar circumstances. There's a bright star in the sky, or the earth opens. In our situation, it's the police station that's on fire. But there are perils at infancy. With the Jesus story, it's the slaughter of the babies by King Herod. And also this notion of far and distant wanderings. We've taken her to Boona in Queensland. So there's a certain degree of irony and humour in that, but at the same time, she's a person with vision. We've made her a person who's a terrorist. Her father's circumstances are such that he's been kicked out of work by a multinational company, and actually he was a union leader, and now he's got nothing. She's come back to basically redeem the family's honour and actually to wage war against the multinational industrial complex of basically the business magnates of the world that don't give a shit about the person and the human. So there's a very strong narrative which people are aware of, and yet it's a sort of a basic philosophical thing which a lot of left-wing groups might believe in. But we haven't sort of stressed that alone. At the same time, we're talking in this show about the way in which there are different elements of the mind that are reflecting upon what you're actually doing. So you have one element that's actually talking at certain sequences about the sense of meeting the people that will be her followers, what she sees in them, how the touch of their skin, etc. So the whole of the space could also be seen as this one character, who's called Lily's actual head. And a lot of the way in which the information is relayed to the audience is through actually disrupting that narrative, even though we've got the beginning where she does something, she goes on a journey, she ends up on a mountaintop and people follow her. But in between that, you actually see her struggling and going through, looking at the various elements that are around her in the desert or in the mountainous scenes, etc. And what it actually feels to see a small ant moving on the ground, etc. So we've tried to imbue it with the ordinary, but also with this sense of that anything that is happening in the individual human body, the site of performance, also has a macrocosm that you can perceive it on the same level. Probably the next level of interest is that we are all devotees of a temple space, and something that has always happened in performance, and we're not just talking about Western performance, is that in one locality, whether it is a Hindu temple or an Islamic temple or even the Christian cycle of what happens to the Christ, can actually happen in the one place. And so you partake of the communion where there's the Last Supper. So we are all of those devotees to this story, devotees of the temple. And in as much as every single devotee is part of something that is larger than themselves. And this is an interesting fact about the way in which Splinters work, that the process is as much on display as the actual finished product. We have trained ourselves to be responsive to where another person moves in the space, so that the movement that goes on isn't just incidental. There is an intention behind that movement, and it might well be that a group of people are creating the whole space of where she is about to be born, and two other people come away to observe the setting up of the temple. So it's like the part of the brain looking back at what it is actually doing. And so we've tried to encapsulate a sort of a human interaction with a concept. And essentially that is the reason that there's these different layers that are actually working in the show. So while we've done this work, which is actually asking the audience to embrace this really almost sacred acts, then we extend it so that the character actually bursts through almost the womb at the end of the show out into the larger context, into the real world. And in the same way as our bodies have created this sense of space and this sense of embracement, we use the fire sculptures, and we use the fact that this person has actually sacrificed themselves in some way or come to a point where their physical life has ended, but their ideas are going to carry on. And so she actually embarks onto another leg of the journey, so that you feel that even in the completion of the story, that the story hasn't got one ending, that there is a series of cycles, and that it's a necessity to actually see the product as actually being what the lessons were along the way. And I think that's a thing that we demonstrate very clearly with her being a part of something which is so great that her own physical presence is almost obscured, but it's still part of the actual fireworks display, the setting of fire on the police station, etc.
Lindsay, here's some little slack.
Oh, actually, no, but I So it's very windy.
Yeah, it's going to be deadly. 60-foot flames.
60-foot flames. Crowd's only 60 feet away. And the wind is onshore.
Dad, I want to go to the market.
What?
Hey, Brian.
Are we doing this?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be deadly. The sparks are going to come this way, full tilt.
Black sheep. Bye bye, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes sir, 3 bag full.
Are they coming, your friends, or did they...
Turn around.
It's really hard to sleep when you know this. I am guilty, I am guilty.
The woman is guilty of reticence in the bedchamber.
So I just put a splinter of mine.
You just had a splinter in your finger. What are you doing?
It's just...
Yeah, what a bloody good idea. So weird.
Much more interesting on the one.
Huh?
Hold it. Rolling. And cue.
It's all part of the process. Exploration, continue to explore, to create and not stop at the style.
Just doing a bit of minor surgery.
Yeah.
I'm just dancing in there.
Good work.
The diva awakes.
Like these, look at it.
Red, swollen labia.
It was raining, wet, hot. It was raining, wet, hot.
Who are you calling Richard?
My knees.
waste from the rectal orifice.
It's about sphincteral equality. I shit on equality.
It is true!
Oh, God, good.
It is the right time!
Oh, I think he's kind too. I'm going to marry him when I grow up, and we're going to have babies together and live in a big, beautiful house by the sea. By the sea at Bermuda.
You don't feel dizzy by any chance, do you, Dora?
How did you know?
Just a stab in the dark, ma petite. And I don't suppose your neck is sore?
Just a little, yes.
I see. Poor neckins. And what were you looking for underneath the pillow, Dora? Tell Lodovico.
Just my hanky. I lost it, you see, and Slade's very angry with me. He used it to wipe my bloody fanny the first time I slept in his bed. Sentimental attachment, you might say.
I'm right indeed.
Look, Uncle Lodovico, you've got your leg back.
My poor naive Dora, do you really believe this protuberance is my right leg? How disarmingly quaint of you. Unfortunately, it isn't. That, my charming ingenue, is a massive surfeit of blood, a genitalic distension of particularly uncomfortable proportions, caused, I might add, by a most brutal and cowardly pinning just prior to the moment of seminal discharge. I was standing at the peephole minding my own business when an unknown assailant pinned me in the dark. With my last remaining reserves of strength and mental composure, I dragged myself to Slade's bed and passed out. I stress once again that the discomfort of such an interruptus is excruciating.
Even my donkey hasn't got...
Hasn't got what, Dora? Such a member, you mean?
Yes! I mean, no. It must be very painful.
Oh, his, I assure you.
Won't it go away of its own accord?
Probably not. You see, the erection was coincident with the pinning. Not that I expect you to grasp such things, Dora.
I see. But surely something can be done to make it smaller.
Oh, would that there were something to ease my suffering travails.
I'm sorry you're in such a travail, Uncle. If only there was something I could do to help.
Perhaps there is. No, it's impossible. How could I ask such a sweet, innocent child to put herself through such humiliation for my sake? It's out of the question, Dora.
But if you're in pain, Uncle...
Not even then. I can endure it, Legion.
Tell me what you want me to do.
Please don't presume on my suffering, dear child.
I'm not presuming, Uncle. I only want to help.
Oh, would that you could.
But I can. Trust me. You have to trust me.
I suppose I'd have no other choice. I'll just have to surrender to your mercy, won't I?
It's for your own good, Uncle.
Well, if I must, I must. Here, take this, my angel.
What is it?
A riding crop, Dora.
What do you want me to do with it?
Fustigate, my angel.
You mean fumigate, don't you, Uncle?
What a charming child you are. No, I mean fustigate, mon enfant, from the Latin fustus, meaning stick, and fustigation to cure by means of hitting the afflicted part with a stick, or in this case, riding crop. They employ the technique in Martinique because of an acute shortage of leeches. It's highly beneficial, I'm told, Dora. Can you grasp all that, Dora?
Oh, yes. I can grasp it all right. So you'd like me to fustigate you, would you, Flashman?
If you'd be so kind.
And of course, the treatment will only work if I'm stark naked and bleeding profusely from the vulva.
Naturally, it
Really? What's wrong with you? Now we'll sit down and make some funny faces. But first, you have to gnash your teeth. Then I'll pick off your beard and make you look 10 years younger. And then a little dance. But first, you'll have to gnash your teeth.
No, I won't. Not in front of all these people.
Suppose I told you I've been thinking of getting a new coat for you. Let's have a look at the one you're wearing. Oh, it's completely worn out. It's got two pieces so much that you touch it.
Oh, please, God, what have I done you? Look out. I didn't mean to be offended.
Then please ask by sitting down. Then please ask further by gnashing your teeth.
Dear God in heaven, what harm have I done to you? Why should I always have to play the fool in front of everyone? I see that stranger over there looking at us. He keeps glancing in our direction, and I suppose he's laughing too. Dr. Stenison taught you to make a fool of me, and now you're encouraging that man over there to do the same thing.
Well, it's yes or no?
I say no!
The court, you remember? You can, and you will, 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 you can,
distraction. Let me start again. With force, I stormed my way down through the years, headlong and hugely powerful. Reach out for all and snap that suffering peaceful.
Oasis, where the accident never happened.
For Christ's sake, get that child to stop whining!
Now what? I'm going to have a baby.
Agitates the heartbeat and transforms the psychogalvanic skin response sufficiently to set the needle shivering on any lie detector. From the driver settles behind the wheel, stress readings increase.
As marital aid. Drive it like you hate it. Crunchy on the outside and hard in the middle. VW Polo. Car as confectionery. Solara, the power to light up your life. The Holy Grail on wheels.
Bumper stickers and monogrammic numbers are applied as if summoning the menacing potencies of the golem, a monster lurching through the back streets, its power derived from the Kabbalistic marks etched upon its forehead. Pendulous mascots, cozy spells against the evils of chance, hang like household gods in a home from home.
A girl with the incised and swollen face of a gargoyle slowly cranks her head down to study the rest of her body. The inside of her right thigh is torn and grazed by a headlamp socket. Her stomach diagonally imprinted and crushed by
the basic pattern of life.
In the next bed,
Listen, the automobile's a credit card on wheels. It's pushy to tell people how much you make. So, you tell them through your automobile. And you want that automobile to be overpowering. Favors we should do safety is promote our cars as indestructible.
Tons of nitrogen dioxide now drop on England.
Autoerotic fuel injection to achieve orgasmics. The perfect self-satisfying body, the rich you are, the better body you buy.
Raging cities. Beautiful.
Deadly pheromones, toys of eternal extinction.
never aspired.
Action that had given humanity its life to open up.
As the atmosphere was peppered from 1,000 superating cities.
as many are.
As many have.
Were perhaps the only
As many.
Included if you were conceived in a car.
as many are.
If you first made love in a car,
As many have.
If you went to work in a car, as many do.
And if you derive your sense of freedom from cars.
You are going to defend them to the death.